is August 1, 2024, and we are going to be doing new month numerology for August with our very favorite numerologist, Michele Landers. Michele, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you so much, Ruth. You know how much I love Enlightened World Network and how much you have to offer. It's such a blessing to so many people. So thank you. So, it's so interesting because every month this year has been interesting, I guess. But July and August, wow, really intense. And as I said, so for this month, it's tumultuous and triumphant. And we'll explain a little bit about that. So one of the things I just wanted to touch upon with all of this energy is I know sometimes people get really a little bit frightened of it and say, oh my God, what does this mean? But I just want to use an example about free will versus predestination. So last month on the 20th, I came on to talk about the full moon in Capricorn, which is going to take place on the 21st. Now, why did I feel the need to do that? Well, it's just because it was an unusual full moon. It was at a critical degree. That always makes me, pay attention. It was also going to be a 9-day of endings. And sure enough, and I said it was an emphasis on authority figures, leaders, political parties, and whatnot, because it was 10th house Capricorn. And that's, Capricorn is jobs and employment and authority, and Saturn is also the ruler of Capricorn. So there's very strong, stubborn energies at work that were calling for completions and something changing. And now the next day, President Biden told us he was stepping down. Now, why am I telling you this? I'm telling you this because the energy was there the energy was there to either persuade him or to give him the support if that's what he wanted to do. But he didn't have to choose that. He didn't have to choose. It wasn't all in the stars. It was in the stars and the energy of the day. But in the end, he had free will. So I just want to mention that because I don't want people to think the stars have tendencies, the numbers have tendencies. What I always say over and over again is with each number, you can choose the higher vibration, or you could, maybe the word is succumb to the lower vibration, or you could fall into the lower vibration. So we always want to be into the positive vibration. All right, so let's get going. August is an 8 month, and it's when you add that to the year, which is also 8. So right then and there, we have a double whammy of karma. We arrive at 16. So adding 1 and 6 together, we get to the number 7. So the 8th month, standing alone, power-packed karmic month, which means things coming back to us as a result of what we put out in the universe. And again, personal and on the world stage. So that can be really good things. Karma, I always want to, emphasize with people. Karma is not bad or good. It just is what it is. What you put out comes back. That's simple, really simple. So there could be good things coming back and not so good things, and a mixture of both. So as I said, I'm just going to shut something else down for a minute, if you don't mind, because I'm hearing this click, click, click. And I just want to close this down. Okay. So it can be a mixture of both. And as I said, sometimes I talk about karmic paybacks. Again, just know we're always creating karma day in and day out. And when does it come back to us? Guess what? We don't know. It's just life is we are constantly creating karma with all of our behaviors, even with our thoughts. If you believe in the law of attraction, which I wish we would come up with something different, but it's a law of intention. I don't know. But under circumstances such as now, when we're under this 8 energy of August and the 8 energy of the year, I would say it's more likely to be much more apparent. as an example for the world, it's very, very, very karmic, and we're feeling the effects of what has been projected in the last 8 years. So think about that for a moment. What was going on 8 years ago in the US, in the world, and even in your own life? So back to August, it's an 8-month, but it's a 7 universal month. That's the energy. So 7, it's the energy of looking over things, reevaluating, reviewing things from the past. And it's a very analytical month, very analytical. And it feels like another month where things come up from the past. New information is being revealed. And that is mirrored with good old Mercury retrograde, because Mercury retrograde is a time to go back over things. And that can be very, very helpful and very beneficial to us. And I'll talk a little bit again about the Mercury retrograde. So the number 7 resonates to the planet Neptune. And we know that Neptune is very ethereal type energy. Neptune and the number 7 are both illusionary. Remember that word, and can be confusing. Remember that word. And Neptune can be an undoing and a dissolution of things. It's definitely a month of analyzing, but over analyzing. And no surprise, the 7 brings up all these suspicions and criticisms. Neptune has a lot to do with water. So this also rules the ocean, all bodies of water, toxins. And I just turn on the news, because I always do these ahead of time. The Paris had some issues with some body of water, and it brings flooding. It's another thing I just heard about in Vermont, devastating floods. It's about rain, ice, liquids of all types, and that includes alcohol. I don't know how that would even play in, but that is part of it. Neptune also rules drugs, bad drugs and good drugs, good medicines or good ways, different ways of handling medical issues, medical problems. And of course, remember that water is also associated with emotion. So no doubt it's a month of very heightened emotions. And we also have to take into consideration, and I will get to that we're in Leo season. Leo's fiery. Fiery in the literal sense, and in and in the sense of non-literal sense, so it could bring a lot of fires. And I heard just recently there's tremendous fires going on in California. And let's not forget about space. There's an emphasis on space, which includes outer space and our own airspace. So that could affect travel. I'm hearing whispers. I don't know exactly how I feel about it. I mean, I certainly believe in aliens, but, and I heard that there's an aspect, bubbling up about bringing more evidence about aliens into the picture, but I'm not so sure about it this month. So is there a positive side? Yes, of course. On the positive side, Neptune is deeply compassionate. It likes to dig deep into our subconscious. It's also inspirational. It's spiritual. It's intuitive. And it can even be, and I love this word, enchanting, if we tap into the positive side of it and don't give in to one of the big emotions or what's going on these days, which is criticism. Okay. So when you give into that, you are blocking some of the really good energy of the number 7. So it is a month to not think so much and to feel more. People are really going to be feeling their feelings this month. And being very verbal about it. It's a month that responds so much better, though, to compassion and patience. It's a mixture of slow moving energy, and I'll get to that with the Mercury retrograde, but also having faith. So I want to look at the tarot cards because they always have something to say. So the first one is the Chariot, if you can see that. All right, that's the seventh card of the Chariot. And what is that about? It's about willpower. It's about determination and strength. So we're going to be seeing a lot of that. It also tells us there's a lot of forward movement. Things are moving forward and action taking place. I want to interject right now, though, because it just came to me that things are changing rapidly in the spiritual realm. And so we are being readied for a big transition, which we've been talking about for a long time, but especially last year, this year, and next year. So all of this, a lot of stuff is just working under the surface. Everything that's happening right now is in the end for our good. So it is not the time to be passive, but it seems like some things that are moving forward may not be entirely clear to us, but they're definitely working beneath the surface. And I feel so strongly about that. In the next 2 years, I think we're going to be in a very different world, or I'm going to hang up my shingle. Did I say that? I'll have to remember that. I'll have to remember I said that, right? That's the way I'm feeling. And this Neptune energy just echoes that. So again, bringing up a lot of emotions. And again, it brings up suspicions, criticisms, and attacks. And as terrible, that's now the attack end of it, I hope that doesn't translate to physical. It's bad enough verbally, but I do know the energy is there for attacks or some types of uprising. It's definitely there, and this is worldwide. So we have to be very cognizant, I guess, of that and sending out a lot of positive energy. So another aspect of the Chariot, though, is feeling, and again, I wanted to say that it's a cliche. You can't make this stuff up, but it's true. The Chariot is like being, again, look at it. It's being pulled in 2 different directions. And that's really what it feels like for so many people. And also like we're spinning. And the Chariot tests our convictions and our commitments, our determination, our willpower, and asks us what is really essential so we can push past any obstacles. And with Mercury in retrograde and other planetary influences, we're bound to expect some obstacles. So then we have, okay, so I'm going to show you the 16th card and nobody get upset about it. Okay, we love this card. Not so much, but okay. So the 16th card of the tarot is the Tower. I know that's a frightening card, but it's not necessarily literal, although it can be. And when I say not necessarily, it could mean someone or something falling from grace, or even some structure falling down or being demolished, or things causing fires, because again, there's a lot of fire energy in it. And it can also mean upheaval or unexpected change or shift. It doesn't always have to be scary, but we'll see how that plays out. But it's definitely some kind of upheaval or big change. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about the US because I think this is really an important transit, and I'll be talking about it more than once. But just know, that what affects the US has a ripple effect on the world. So the transit that the USA just went into is that the 5 astrological house as of July 4th, which I did talk about and I'll continue to, and that's going to be around until next year, July 2025. Now, I do feel like if there's any astrological enthusiasts out there, I want to explain something. Although this is called an astrological transit, it is part of an advanced numerological study. And the only person I know who ever taught this was Dr. Kevin Quinn Avery, he's no longer with us, but he was a master of numerology, astrology, the Kabbalah, Eastern philosophies. And I feel so fortunate to have him as a teacher. So this 5 astrological house is very similar in the energy, but it's a numerological transit. At any rate, 5 astrological house that we're in the US brings all this youthful energy. And I was wondering how this is going to manifest. And now I can see how it's manifesting with the younger energy. It has so much to do with women as well. Women, children, reproduction, young energy. And what I found out recently from chatting with my granddaughter, and honestly, this is not any kind of political statement at all, but I'm just repeating what she said, with her female friends are feeling really energized right now and wanting to vote. So I have heard this more than once, though, that young people are wanting to get out there and vote. So that struck me as so interesting, considering this 5 astrological house and its connection to youth. So that tells me, you know, as I said, that more people are getting involved, more people are out there. There's this outpouring of emotion surrounding the topic of abortion and female rights. And that is definitely going to be with us for a while. So it's also about freedom. And guess what? When it's operating positively, it's about joy. So that's what I do want to tap into. So August is pretty chaotic. The energy is pretty scattered. I will say, and this is kind of again, it's so dual with that chariot. I'm not crazy about traveling this month. And I'm not telling anybody not to travel. I'm just saying be very aware. And it's crazy because the number 7 is so supportive for traveling around or on water. Okay. It has a lot of that water energy that I talked about. So I just would say that if you do have to travel, you just be super conscientious about your surroundings and where you are. But there is another aspect coming up mid-month, and I'm going to tell everybody, stay away from crowds. So now we're in the middle of a transit that began on July 30th and continues to August 4th in a couple of days, and that's Venus square Uranus. Now, this can create some tension in relationships, particularly around communication. It brings unexpected events. What a surprise, right? Can bring changes in finances and relationships. It's very restless. And for some people, you know, think about, is there anything restricting your freedom? Think about that. The energy is letting us know, Uranus is, you know, surprises or upheavals. It's letting us know that things are changing. Old things are breaking away to bring in new energy. And that, I mean, that to me, that is so clear cut. So August 4th, we have a new moon in Leo. And hang on to this day, because this is probably, you know, if you could keep that day, it's probably one of the better days. It can be empowering. Leo is, look at me, you know, it shines. So we know that new moons are about setting intentions, sowing seeds, and some sort of new beginning. And this new moon is making a harmonious aspect to Jupiter, love Jupiter, and Mars. So what is that energy of Leo? Well, Leo's confident, it's creative, it's entertaining. Again, it likes intention. And you want to be seen, you know, Leo tends to want to be seen in the spotlight. So that day on the 4th can help you do that. If you have something that you want to put out there, it's very good. And speaking of putting things out there, it's a great day to have your inner child come out and play. Jupiter is a benefic planet, and Mars is fiery energy. And in this configuration, Mars can get things done quickly. And again, it also brings in this youthful energy. So we have Mars and Jupiter, and then and they're in Gemini, and Gemini is about words, writing, speaking. So it's wonderful energy for the creative arts, for having great conversations. It can even very likely, right, place the spotlight and the focus on leaders, the entertainment industry. So I'll just say, I think that's going to be one of the better days. Now, August 5th until the 29th, it's back. We have good old Mercury retrograde in the sign of Leo, and Venus moves into Virgo. Venus is a little bit critical when she's in Virgo. So it can mean looking at your love life or your partners or any of your close relationships with, I don't like that about you, or I don't like when you do that. So we have to be, it might be something that just bothers us, that we just don't like, and we feel like we have to verbalize it. So I would say don't. So I think that, of course, Mercury, we all know, what does Mercury do? It brings up technological issues, breakdowns, irritations, a little bit more than usual. Make sure, nowadays, pretty much everybody, I think, backs up their computer to the cloud anyway. But if you don't, back up your computer, electronics, all that kind of stuff. Now, on August 8th, we have something that comes around every year at this time, and that's the Lion's Gate. Very powerful. So each year between July 28th and August 12th, that portal is open. The star Sirius is part of the Orion's belt constellation. And at that time, the sun moves into complete alignment with the pyramids of Giza. So although the portal is open between July 26th and August 12th, it's believed that its powers are most potent on August 8th, and it's also known as the Galactic New Year. So when this alignment happens, it's believed that there is this intense surge of light, which awakens our DNA. It activates our human energy field, transmits high vibrational frequency and these codes of awakening. But it also can create a lot of seismic activity. And so I'm also expecting to hear about more volcanoes or, eruptions, things like that, earthquakes. So between August 8th and the 10th, things start shaking up a little bit. So tune into that Lion's Gate energy, and maybe we can even do some kind of a meditation about that, a Lion's Gate meditation. Okay. So August 10th to the 19th, Mercury is in opposition to Neptune. And this peaks, by the way, in the middle of the month. Mercury, we know, is communication, among other things. And with Neptune, communications can be hazy. So mid-month, August really involves a lot of frenetic energy, miscommunications. So just, again, it is a month, with this 7 energy, it is a month to go deep, be very conscious of what you're doing and your surroundings. Now, August 13th to the 20th, we have a T-square, Mars conjunct Jupiter, square Venus and Saturn. This is kind of an intense transit. And again, I forgot to mention, we always should pay attention. These energies can hit a few days before a few days after. It doesn't always have to be exact on that day. And it seems like it should, but it's not. So Mars Jupiter conjunction in the sign is, oh no, this is, yes. So Mars is fiery, Jupiter expands things, Venus is about relationships, and Saturn kind of puts its foot down. It's the authoritarian, it's power struggles. And we know that is going on. And I think it's really heightened in August. And on the 14th, Mercury retrograde enters Leo. And this can maybe slow things down a little bit, but I still feel like it's a combative energy. People's opinions, self-righteous behavior, people being on a soapbox. I don't think any of that is a surprise, but just again, the reminder is the overall energy of the month is the number 7. So we can retreat, we can observe, we cannot react. And that's a big one. We can use Mercury retrograde as a way to revisit things, maybe do a do-over, resurrecting something, dusting it off, thinking about how we can improve it. We don't have to engage in all the nonsense that's going on. But if there is something you wanted to resurrect, this is a good time to do, as I say, a do-over, but a look-see. I don't think you should put it into action right now, but definitely dust it off, give it some attention. I'm also hearing, and from the energy that's going on, is it's probably best around this time to stay away from crowds. So I'm talking 14th, 15th through, I would say almost the end of the month. And that might be hard for some people, but it's just a word of caution. So we can hear around this time also about surprising or even shocking news. And whatever it is, if it does manifest, it could even maybe shake up, our financial markets as well. But overall, let me just say this, I don't see any overall problems with the market. We're used to ups and downs, but I think that's safe. August 18th, we have Mercury squares Uranus. And I believe it's also a Mercury Cuzimi. So this is kind of crazy energy. It can bring in an opportunity of some sort or some breakthrough, or it can bring some clarity or at least seeing things differently. And I also understand that this Cuzimi, and I don't know how it's going to manifest, but it's hitting the charts of the people, a few of the people, and we know who the few people are, that are in the spotlight right now politically. So now the 19th, the first day of the DNC, we also have a full moon in Aquarius. And boy, Aquarius is like, I don't like this. I don't like the rules. It only adds a lot of rebellion to this energy. And this will be a full moon at 27 degrees of Aquarius in a very, very tight square to Uranus. Uranus is Aquarius ruler. So I'm tiptoeing around this, but I guess I have to do it. I'm not sure if it's going to be right now, but, and again, I'm just putting it out there. I'm not taking sides, but I am concerned about Biden and something maybe we didn't expect, or something to do with his communication. It just doesn't look great. I also have to say it could be behind the scenes and doesn't come out right away because 7 is down, but it's the energy's there. And again, stay away from clouds if you can, crowds, not clouds, crowds if you can. August 21st, we have the sun aligning with one of the 4 royal stars, Regulus, and this should be a good day, positive, powerful energy. It can bring in more balance, bring in more understanding and compassion. August 22nd, I think the energy is start to shift a little bit more. It's a little more grounding, a little bit of a quieter energy, a little bit more stable. We might even receive some really good news. The 27th, Venus in Virgo trines. Okay, what is a trine? I forgot here, but it's with Taurus, and we see a day where it can be really a change of luck. And there, again, kind of on the heels of the 22nd, it can bring a positive shift. And August 29th, oh, what I did forget is, okay, and one of the reasons it starts to change after the August 22nd is the August 23rd, the sun goes into Virgo, and Virgo changes things. Virgo can settle things down a little bit. So on August 29th, though, Venus moves into the sign of Libra, and she loves Libra. She's so at home at Libra. So this is really, really nice energy. So it feels like the entire month is a tug of war between maintaining things, building things, being very cautious, reevaluating our beliefs. And that is a theme that keeps coming up over and over again this year. And it's such a powerful month for us to go within and really, really connect with our inner world and with our families. So I would say that's pretty much it, unless something else comes up and we do another mid-month video. But right now, I'm pretty confident with what this is. So thank you.
Thank you, Michele. You know, oftentimes your months will have more of a consistent theme kind of going through it. This feels a little more unusual because it's just kind of ping-ponging all over the place.
Yes, it is. It is. So we can expect now. It's interesting. I haven't even looked at the transits for September, but usually September, the main energy of the year hits even harder. So I have to look at what that is going to mean and how that's going to play out. So yeah, right now is kind of do a lot of praying, do a lot of inner work. Don't get caught up with stuff, which I always advise, and this year especially, every month has been to some degree topsy-turvy, but it is really intense now. It was last month, it is this month. So if you can maintain your center, like that's what we always say, right? That's we say it a lot because that's what works. So that's what works. Stay in your heart, stay present. Don't get caught up in what you're hearing all around you. Be open to hearing your own intuition. And that's the other thing I really want to bring up. And I forgot to say that. This is a great month for you to get insight and intuition and hear your higher self, or whatever you want to, whether it's God or whatever it is that you believe in. This is a great month to get very quiet and listen. So.
Very nice. So friends, whatever it is that helps ground you, find it and practice it. Whether it's conversations with friends, whether it's gardening, whether it's time in meditation, this is the perfect month to go inward and just hold your own calm. And I really do believe that the more you hold your own calm, you will also see calm in others, because whatever it is that you are seeking, you'll also find. So thanks for being here.
Okay, you can hear me, correct? Mm-hmm. Okay, great. Yes, so that is wonderfully sage advice. Thank you, Ruth.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Michele, for this. And yes, I do want to take you up on August 8th, Lionsgate.
Yeah, I like that. I'll come up with something, definitely, because it's a great day, to do meditation, invoking some powerful energies.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Michele, if somebody wants to work with you individually, what can they expect and how do they contact you?
Well, you can contact me at michellanders.com. That's Michelle with one L. And I am a board certified life coach. I'm a certified hypnotherapist. I'm obviously a numerologist. And I've written a couple of books, but you can just go on my website. And if you would like a free 15-minute consult, I am more than happy to offer that. And we can just chit chat pretty much about anything within this realm of self-improvement or spirituality, or you want to know more about numerology or coaching, if you feel stuck and you want to move forward. And again, I offer the 15-minute free consultation, so take advantage of that. We'll have a nice chat.
I love it. Thank you so much for offering that. So friends, thank you for being here at Enlightened World Network. And we do this the first day of every month. So please join us again and again. Take good care and God bless. We'll see you soon.